It's a terrible price for a turnip. Hello, and welcome to Build Series Sydney. My name is Danny Clayton, and I'm your host. And joining me today, an American actress who is set to take over Hollywood. She's praised for her comic timing and her inherent ability to light up a screen. Her name is Cree Cicchino. How are you doing, my dear?
I am good. How about you?
Oh, very good. Now, I mean, obviously, this is a strange time. I'd love to be having this conversation with you in person, but things are a bit weird around the world. So where are you streaming from? Where are we talking to?
I'm currently streaming from LA. So
Okay. And what are things like in LA?
Things are fairly all right. It's very warm. It's summertime. So people are taking a lot of safe, socially distanced walks. It's a good time for that, getting some fresh air, some safe fresh air. And ultimately, the area that I'm in, it's very calm. And I'm lucky to be safe and healthy right now. So.
Okay, that's good news. Now, we've got so many things to talk to you about, especially with your upcoming Netflix shows. But I did want to take a slight step backwards just for a moment and talk about what propelled you into the spotlight. And that is, of course, Nickelodeon's Game Shakers, which is an incredibly fun show. And it's strange because it's almost like we get to watch you grow into a woman, because when you first started, you were so young. What is it like for you to look back at some of those early episodes of Game Shakers?
It's strange. It's strange. When I did it, I certainly didn't feel as tiny and young as I was, and I certainly couldn't have predicted that I'd be 18 and out here and still working. So it's really wild. It's really wild to see it, to kind of see yourself grow up. I don't know if you should be able to, but I can. So it is really interesting to see baby 12, 13-year-old Cree.
I mean, sometimes it's actually difficult to recognize. It's like they're two different people entirely. It's like I see the young girl on Game Shakers, and then I look at something that you've done on your Mr. Iglesias, and it's almost like they're two different people. Do you feel like that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I booked that when I was 12 years old, and kind of by accident, I didn't grow up wanting to act or ever thinking that I would. So it was kind of a surprise to book it and to move out here. So yeah, I definitely, of course, the characters and the projects are very, very different, Nickelodeon and really anything else. But yeah, totally. I mean, it's been, gosh, I guess like 6 years or so that I've been out here, and like a very, formative 6 years, like the big teen years. So yeah, it's definitely like looking at a different person, some child who I'm not familiar with.
I mean, can you remember when you found out you had the role? Like, can you remember where you were? Can you remember what that news was like for you?
Funny, because the Game Shakers audition booking process was very lengthy and very in-depth. I mean, it was months and months because I am from New York, of flying out to LA and FaceTiming in and coming in and reading across tons and tons of girls and chemistry reads and filming, bits and pilots and screen tests and things. So I was so into the process and had met everyone and done fittings and things that by the time I actually booked it, I was so familiar with the whole process and the building and everyone there, that it was a total surprise and a relief to hear that I had gotten it. But it was almost like I had already kind of been working there for some months. So I think I was in LA. I was like driving back to my hotel after some screen test or chemistry. There were so many. Laying horizontally in the back seat, very tired, very hungry, very cranky. And my mom was like, "It's official. You got it. We're out here." And that was it. It was a very chill, mellow finding out.
I mean, and you are a part of the Nick family, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, if we look at some of the stars that have rolled through there, you got like Ryan Reynolds, Jessica Alba, Ariana Grande. Like these are big people. Is there anyone from that Nick family that you admire a fair bit? Maybe you'd like to work with?
Well, I grew up watching not only Nickelodeon, but Dan Schneider specifically, who was, the creator and executive producer of Game Shakers. So yeah, I really, really love Liz Gillies, who was on Victorious. She played Jade. She's just such a talent. And and I loved her character. I loved Victorious. It was probably my favorite show growing up. And I remember getting the sides for Babe and being like, oh my God, it's like my own little Jade, who was her character on Victorious. So yeah, and I've also had the great privilege of meeting a lot of Dan's previous cast members. So I did get to meet her once, which is very, very cool.
Now, Cree, Netflix does have an incredible action-packed film coming out that you're starring strongly in. It has everything that we like and enjoy from a mysterious action film. It's called The Sleepover. Can you tell us what it's like working on this particular film?
Oh, it's fantastic. It was my first. I'd never done a film before. I'd really only done TV and, for the most part, sitcom, like multicam TV. So I was really excited to do single cam, to be like on location, to do stuff outside and not always, like on a very close controlled set. And it was a party. Our director, Trish, was fantastic. Really got along with the cast. I had so much fun with them. And Mim is such a fun character. And our director was fantastic in just letting me play and try different things and throw in lines and just really explore and have fun. So it was a big like learning experience, and every day on set was like camp. It was just playing. Honestly, I think I probably spent, well, there's a lot of sit around and wait on a single cam like film set. So I spent a lot of my time sitting in chairs with Sadie Stanley. And I did probably spend a good 70% of my free time just trying to make her laugh. So all in all, was a very, very nice set experience.
Okay, so you have to kind of break down the myth. When you are sitting down in a chair waiting to do your thing while you're on set for a Hollywood film, are you sitting in one of those chairs where your name is written on the back? You are. You are. Winner! You are. And I took many cringy photos of me sitting on my chair. That was an exciting moment too. That was very fun for me. I guarantee they're all over your Instagram, I'm guessing, that we've got. They will be right when it drops, and I can post all my behind the scenes little tidbits. You will see me in the chair. Okay. It looks like there is like a few bit of action sequences in this particular film. Did you get to do any of your own stunts? Did you get to roll around and jump off the things and hold on to cars while they're sprinting through a street? I cannot spoil much, but I certainly was doing more physically than I went in expecting to. And I did so in a little party dress for much of the film. So that was a very interesting experience. So I'll leave it to the imagination. Okay, so something else that we've had a chance to see you kind of flex your acting muscles on is Mr. Iglesias, which is, of course, a show featuring Gabrielle Fluffy Iglesias. Look, this looked like a show which was particularly fun, but also like challenging to work on, because it would have been hard to keep it together. I mean, how was it for you? What was it like on this show? Yeah, this show is, well, it's a sitcom that's packed with incredibly talented stand-up comics and actors known for comedy. So, and we also film in front of a live audience, which is when our on-set stand-up comics, Gabe Sherry, they really come alive and play and try new things. And a lot of the time they do this very sneaky. During the week, they'll think of a really fun joke, but they won't tell anyone about it. They'll save it for show night to surprise everyone, including their fellow castmates. So yes, it is definitely hard to keep it together on those nights, especially a lot of my scenes are in the classroom with the students with Gabe. So yeah, it's both hard because it's really hard to keep it together with him, but then we also get a bit of a break because we don't get many scenes with the other teachers. So when they're doing their thing in the lounge, going crazy, all these new jokes, we are behind monitors and we can cackle very freely. What's your tip to, I know this is a strange one, but what's your tip to not laughing? Because, if I can try to keep a straight face, but I'll fail, 9 times out of 10. When you've got some of the world's funniest comedians on there, like making jokes, how do you just keep it professional? I'm lucky because Marisol is kind of
is kind of the straight man. She's kind of the serious character. She spends a lot of episodes scolding people. So I've had a lot of practice just being in character, just being angry, or on a mission. But sometimes the best tip is to laugh. Some of our best stuff has come from a surprise joke, and we all, and by we I mean me and my fellow castmates that play the students, all just laugh because it's funny. And if a group of teenagers heard that similar joke in an actual classroom, I have to imagine they'd laugh as well. So some of my favorite moments are little pieces of Cree laughing that they've left in as Marisol, which is always very fun to me.
Yeah, I mean, there was one clip that you put up recently, which was almost like a bloopers clip. And it was so funny because, like, here you are, a young lady, and there are these gentlemen who are, 30 years older than you, and it almost seemed like you were wrangling them together. Like, you were like, come on guys, let's do this scene. Like, and you were the adult amongst children. Is it like that, regularly? Is this, you're trying to get them in line?
I think, are you referring to that clip that I've got of me saying stop and then them finishing the
That's exactly the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That just goes to show how silly they are, because we weren't even on camera. They were just catching audio. And so they were just trying to make the audience laugh and trying to make me laugh, I hope. I think, no, I mean, behind the scenes, I have no place wrangling anybody. I love the sillies. But I think Marisol as a character is a student and Gabe is the teacher, but spends a lot of time being a teacher to him in some ways and teaching the adults around her important things. So I think that certainly comes across in the show, but in real life, no, I'm not going to wrangle anybody. I'm going to let them entertain the entire room.
Okay. I did notice, though, at the end of that clip, when they were singing a few absolute party jams, that you couldn't help yourself and that you did, start to groove a little bit. And I've been led to believe that, you are quite the dancer. Is this something that you'd like to, take up again, or you want to get smash bang into your boogie moves?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up a dancer, like a technically trained like competition dancer. And then when I started acting, there was not much time for it. And I was never like a ballerina. Like, I always liked hip hop and like jazz funk and fun stuff like that. But almost every job I've worked on has had me dance in one way or another once they find out. So it'll always be something I keep in my back pocket. And now that I've graduated high school, I've got a little more time on my hands behind the scenes. Maybe I will. I'm never going to fully let it go. I'll always be a dancer at heart.
I mean, you just turned 18. You can go clubbing now in Australia, but maybe not in the US.
There are some like 18 clubs, but I can't imagine they're as fun as the normal kind.
Okay. Well, I mean, the really important question now is, what kind of music are you listening to?
The person that I keep naming when I ask this question is Anthony Ramos, who I love so much. A lot of people know him. He's kind of had his start on Broadway, but he does his own music, of course. And he's talented and adorable, and I am in love with him. So yeah, it's been a lot of Anthony Ramos in my house lately.
Okay. Now I'm going to have to let you go very, very soon, but I was thinking about something. You've got your Justin Bieber's, and he's got the Beliebers. Taylor Swift has the Swifties. Right. Katy Perry has the Katy Cats. Yes. And as fan collective, you have the Cree Creatures. Yes. What are the Creatures like? And are they good? Are they a good community?
Oh yeah. Just the fact that they are still called Creatures, which is a very silly little moment that I had when I was like 13, it shows that they like these really awesome people that have been with me since my Game Shakers days, since I was super young. And it's wild, because obviously a lot of people have the most connection with their fans over like Instagram and social media and things, but it's the same, accounts and fan accounts and people like that have been with me since I was really processing it, like 13, 14, 15, which is wild. We've really been in this for years. They're amazing, wonderful, supportive, engaging, especially now that we're in the midst of a really energetic Black Lives Matter movement, and I am trying to be as involved as I can, and I'm learning and taking responsibility in a much more public manner. I was really surprised and happy to see my followers engaging and sharing the word and reposting and spreading the message, which I guess is always the goal if you have a following to amplify what you can. So that was another really heartwarming moment that just shows, you know, how loyal and how wonderful and in this my community is, and I'm very grateful, and I love them so much.
Cree, may I just say that you are wise beyond your years, and it's been
Oh,
a pleasure talking to you. I mean, we're very excited to get a chance to watch this stellar, action-packed, mysterious movie, The Sleepover, coming out on Netflix. And of course, we're hoping for more and more seasons from Mr. Iglesias. And of course, we will never stop playing Sky Whale, which is just a riveting video game. So thank you so much. Cree Cicchino, thank you for joining us on Build Series Sydney.
Thank you.